Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Energy Hunter. We've got a great show for you today about a very important topic of our time. I'm standing here in the middle of a sea of solar. Solar is happening now, not just on top of this commercial building in downtown Winchester, but it's popping up on roofs all over town. There's a lot of great government incentives for solar that make it pay. It just might work for your home. And that's what we're going to learn about today. We're going to go visit a homeowner today, sit down and discuss with her, learn just why she decided to put solar on her roof. Then we'll watch the entire construction process, and we'll end with her in the basement, turning that switch and watching that first kilowatt hour of solar-powered electricity flow into her house. It's great. Let's go check it out now. Hey, good morning, Travis.
Hey, Woody, good to see you.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Very well. You're doing some solar today, I guess.
Yeah, we certainly are.
Well, Winchester's had, I've heard, over 30 separate installations going on, and we're right near the end. We wanted to catch you before you left town.
Yeah, this is one of the last few installations out of the Winchester program, yep.
Oh, great. So tell us about the installation process for a minute, if you would.
Okay, well, this particular installation is going to be 14 of the solar modules. It's going to be about 3.57 kilowatts is the system size. It's going to be pretty much filled up with panels. There's going to be 2 rows of 7 over 7.
So your engineers have designed the system, they've put it on paper, and your installers now are locating the brackets to hold the solar panels.
Correct. They'll find the rafters that they need to install the brackets that hold up the rack, and they'll just take it one foot at a time.
Well, you know, you've done it at my house, and I love the installation, but all of us get really worried about leaks coming through when you start drilling through our house. How do you prevent those leaks from happening?
Yeah, certainly, and that's usually the biggest concern with a lot of the homeowners. So what we use as a company is we use a flashing method. They'll find the rafter up there, and they'll pre-drill the hole for the lag screw, which actually attaches the roofing bracket. And after they pre-drill that hole, they'll fill with the roofing sealant. And then what happens is they'll come down, and this mechanism right here, this L foot and this block will hold the L foot up, and this flashing right here is designed to keep the water out. Now this flashing is equipped with this raised rubber gasket that allows for water to, once it hits the flashing, like as if it rains, it'll just keep traveling. As you can see, the gasket is raised with a little bell-shaped cup right there.
So let me see if I understand this. Underneath here you have roofing cement.
Correct.
And this side goes towards the roof. It slides underneath a shingle.
Correct.
And then you have the second barrier to water, which is this rubber gasket, which then deflects the water.
Right.
And is there another way to prevent
Yep,
this?
so once the lag screw is then drilled into the roof, there's actually a gasketed washer that sits on top of everything but once it compresses, it seals up the hole as a third.
Okay, I feel much better now. There's no water going in my house and certainly not Laura's.
Correct.
Thanks for talking us through that piece of the installation.
Yeah, you're welcome.
As the installation continues, let's take a look back at the conversation I had with our homeowner, Laura, about why her family decided to go solar.
Hi Laura, thanks so much for letting us come to your house, right to your kitchen table, and talk about solar potential here. How exciting. Tell me, what led you to the decision to even check this out?
Well, just my big concern for the environment and leaving a better world for my children.
Terrific. Was there any concern about maybe saving a little money?
Oh yeah, no, that's an added bonus, is to save a little bit of money along the way.
Oh, good. So once you kind of decided with your husband that this is something you're interested in, what did you do next?
Well, I called Real Good Solar, and they looked me up on Google Earth, and they looked at my house, and they were able to tell right away that my house was going to be a good fit for solar.
They were able to pre-qualify your house by looking on Google Earth. What were they looking for?
Well, they were looking to see if I had any skylights or if there was a lot of shade. You know, we don't have either of those things, so it was a perfect fit.
Wow.
They did mention that I needed an energy audit, which is free, so I went ahead and did that.
Doing the energy audit is so important. We encourage people to make their house as efficient as possible. It also pays really well. before going renewable. What did they do next?
Well, they come out. They come out to the house and they look at it in my attic, and they said there was going to be some support beams that we put at a minimal cost, and they looked at my roof in person, and from there we just were able to sit down and start doing the paperwork.
In a moment, we're going to review the two proposals that Laura received. But now, let's return to the installation. All the brackets have been installed, and so have many of the rails that the solar panels will rest on. Speaking of solar panels, let's take a closer look at what Travis is working on in the driveway.
So Travis, this looks like it's a solar panel, the back side.
Yep, that's right.
So tell us, what are you doing now?
Right now we're testing each individual panel. We try and do this for every panel before we put them up on the roof on our installations. And this way we can verify that each panel is operating the way it should before we put them up on the roof. On the back of each individual panel is a little chart that tells us the values that it should be reading as far as voltage and amperage. And so with our handheld meter we can test what it's doing and we can compare it to what it should be doing.
Let's test it out.
Sure.
Great. So what value are we looking for?
You're looking for what the voltage is. It should be somewhere around 58 volts.
Oh my gosh, it's 56.1. Does that mean it's working?
That means it's pretty good.
Oh, that's wonderful.
This panel itself is, is made up of individual cells, which are interconnected with this silver wiring inside here, and it's then terminated up here in the top of the panel, where the junction box is on the other side.
Okay, so once it gets to the top of this panel, how is it getting down to the inverter in the basement?
Well, if you turn the panel over, you can see that each panel is going to be equipped with a junction box, where the wiring on the inside of the module interfaces with these wires right here, and these wires will then connect panels to each other as well as down to the inverter.
Oh, so the master line is coming from all these panels down the side of the house and into the inverter.
That's correct.
Great. So is it time to put the panels up?
It is.
I can't wait. Let's go do it.
Okay. What they're doing now is they're really spending a lot of time and attention to getting this first row down as perfect and straight as they can. Sometimes you put 3 panels down and you see that it travels a little and you have to go back and just kind of adjust it. The time that you spend on the first row pays off in the end for sure. They'll use that first row as an outline for the rest of the array.
As the rest of the panels are being placed, let's step back and review the two proposals Laura had to choose from.
Okay, Laura, so they actually printed out the proposals right here on your kitchen table on the spot.
Yep, it was pretty easy. Actually, have the 2 proposals right here.
Oh, great. Could I take a peek at those? Oh, good. Well, before I look at these, they both, according to my understanding, will reduce your purchases of electricity from the grid by as much as 80 to 90%. That means those panels that are on your roof will be producing that much of the power that you need to run your household. How exciting is that?
It's great.
So I want to be able to read these a little bit better, so I brought over my solar-powered desk lamp here.
That's neat.
So according to this, your buy-it-yourself option, or option 1, would cost about $18,400 total cost for you to pay for the installation. But after state and federal incentives, your cost would be as low as $10,400. That's a huge reduction in price due to incentives. And according to the calculation of savings for the electricity, and of course you will be paid for producing green energy. And if you combine the savings and those payments, the calculations here show that you will have a simple payback in this option of 5 to 6 years for owning it yourself.
Right.
So the second option is where you would be leasing and a third party would actually own the panels. So it means they're going to pay the money to have them installed. They're going to pay to operate them. They're going to pay for maintenance for the entire 20 years of this contract. And according to this, then your electricity costs will be reduced by 15% over your current costs. Substantial savings. So if I understand this right, tell me, what was your thought process that you and your husband went through that brought you to your conclusion?
Yeah, well, they both have their pluses and minuses. but the huge upfront cost of purchasing the panels was a lot for us to spend right now. We're looking to do a renovation on the house, and we wanted to save that money. So we decided to go with the leasing option instead, where it's a fixed monthly cost.
Terrific. No upfront cost. They pay the full O&M, and you're on your way producing solar energy and helping the environment.
Right.
Great choice, Laura.
Thank you.
So Travis, we're now up here in the attic, but I happen to notice that you've got some new lumber against your existing rafters. What's that about?
Yep, when we did the original examination of Laura's roof structure, we realized that it was just a little bit too weak to hold up the additional weight of the solar panels. So what we had to do is we had to double up the rafters underneath the solar panel location, and we simply put an additional 2x6, sistered every single rafter, and nailed them off accordingly. And then over here you can also see actually where they came through from underneath the panels from that junction box in the DC conduit run right here, and then exiting out of the house over there.
And that's where the run goes from the top of the house down to the meter, right?
Exactly.
Let's go out and check it out.
All right.
Wow, this is so exciting. I can see the panels go up. Give me 5, Laura.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. They're putting up the last couple modules now, and it's looking really good.
Oh, it's so pumped.
Oh, it looks awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Do you have a minute? I want to show you a couple of the electrical switches over here.
Okay.
So over here by your utility meter, this is your existing utility meter, which is where we decided to put all the electrical equipment associated with the PV system. We do this to kind of keep it all organized into one area for your visuals, but also for safety personnel if they do need to come and service the equipment, they know where everything is. And you can see up there is where we came out of the attic with the conduit run. So this pipe right here, this contains the DC wiring. So that's the wiring coming off the roof. And what happens is it comes through here, it passes through this switch, and it keeps going in this conduit into the basement towards the inverter. Now after the inverter changes it to the AC, it comes out and it passes through this device. Now this is your revenue meter. This is going to keep a track of how much power you produce over time, as well as transmit the signal for Sunrun to be able to read how much power you produced.
Okay.
So after the power passes through the meter, then it passes through this switch. Now this serves the utilities purpose where they need to turn the system off and you're not around to do it. They can in fact do that so they can service their equipment safely. And then so after it passes through that switch, it then goes back inside into your electrical system where it interfaces.
Okay. And what's the AC and the DC stand for?
Yep, so the DC is it's called this direct current, and that's the power quality that the panels make. But what we use in the grid around here is we use the AC, or the alternative current. So in order to utilize the power off the panels, that's what we use the inverter for. That's in the basement.
Okay.
Let's go. You want to go check those out right now?
Yeah, sounds good.
Great.
Let's do it.
Okay, Laura, like we talked about before, we located the solar inverter in this corner of the basement, near your electrical panel and kind of where all your other utilities are for convenience. So here's the conduit that we saw outside that contains the DC power, and as it comes through the conduit, it enters the solar inverter in here.
Okay.
So this is what's going to turn it from the DC to the AC, and then once it does that, it comes back out of the inverter, it goes back this direction, it goes out to those switches that we looked at earlier, and then it comes back into your main electrical panel in here.
Okay.
And now what happens is as we enter in the panel, the way we interface with your house is we're backfeeding the panel with a 2-pole breaker right here, and it's labeled solar electric interconnect, just so you know. So as power is being created, it's entering into the bus bar in here and being distributed through your branch circuits when power is needed. Now when power is not needed, it'll just keep going through the main and then out to the utility company's purposes.
Okay, great.
So you can see the switch right here is for the solar, and we're just gonna.
Now, is that if I need to switch it off? Is that the switch?
That's correct. That's correct. So if you ever have to do maintenance on the electrical panel, we recommend that you turn it in the off position. So you just have to flip it off like that.
Coming up, Laura throws a switch and starts making solar power. But first, let's see some additional equipment you can get when you choose to purchase your solar panels.
Okay, so we're over here at my house now, and I just want to brag about my 14 solar panels. Look at them up there. They're producing twice the electricity that I'm using right now in my home. How cool is that? Now, my system is almost identical to Laura's, except I own it. And because I own it, I have a few extra electronics in my basement that I want to show you. Let's go down right now. Okay, so here I am in my basement. I wanted to show you all the electronics that they've installed. Very similar to Laura. The DC power comes down here from the panels, through the junction box, and into the inverter, just like Laura's, converting the DC power to AC. AC flows into my electric panel, conventional electric panel, and then powers all the electronics and lights and other devices in my home. The difference is because I own my own system, I have my own production meter here. This is precisely recording all the electricity that's being produced by the panels on my roof. Secondly, I have a module here that is tracking the usage of my home. So now I have usage tracking, production tracking, and all of this is sent to the web via electronics embedded in the system. So now I can go anywhere in the world on any computer and call up the instantaneous usage and production of my facility.
So Laura, I got to show you something really cool that came with my installation, and you'll get this when I get solar installed in my house. It's a web accessible information that shows charts and graphs of your usage and the production of your solar. So let me show you right now.
Oh, yeah.
So look at this. So here we are, this is a 24-hour period. And right here is in the evening when we're sleeping. Look at that, those little blips. That's the refrigerator cycling in my house. But look how low that electricity usage is.
Yep.
Really important to reduce that. Then you come to the morning hours, you see these spikes. Well, that's us getting up, putting the coffee maker on, making some toast, turning the electronics on in the house, so you can watch your pattern really closely. So let me explain the lines. The coolest line, of course, is this yellowish line, this nice curve arc. That's your solar production.
Oh, wow.
I like to call it the sun rising.
It does look like a sun.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Then underneath this middle line here is my actual usage during the day. So see the zigzags? Refrigerator cycling. And then, because my usage is less than my solar production, this purple line going down here is the system actually selling electricity back to the grid.
Oh, nice.
Now, I like to call that banking because due to a law called net metering in Massachusetts, homeowners and other owners of solar can bank this energy into the grid, and at night, when there's no sun shining, you basically can remove your kilowatt hours from the bank and continue to save in those off-peak hours. So it really optimizes the cost reduction and the environmental benefit.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
No, it's very neat.
And guess what? You're going to get one of these with your installation.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You now join the 40 other homeowners in Winchester who are getting solar put on their roof. How does that feel?
We're so excited. We're so excited to be joining the 40 other homes within Winchester who have solar panels. The whole process was really easy, and we just can't wait to turn on the switch.
It's been an exciting day at Laura's house. The crew has installed her equipment, and now she is ready to join the growing number of Winchester homeowners who are producing clean, renewable solar energy.
You're ready to just turn the system on, and this is your main on and off switch. It's also the DC disconnect, and as you can see, it's got a little off label right there, and all you got to do is turn it to the right.
So you ready, Laura? You ready for the moment we've been waiting for?
I'm ready.
All right, go for it.
Ready, here we go.
There you go.
Yeah, we did it! Yay! It's working! It's pumping power to the house!
Excellent.
All right, way to
I'm
go!
so excited.
So there it is, that beautiful sun shining down on Laura's solar panel and making electricity she's using right now. So make sure your home is efficient, but then checking out if solar works for your home is really easy. Do it today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.